Music get you pumped or what? Hell yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Alright. Where is it? There we go. Shit is loud. I don't know why this video in particular. Some videos, they're just louder than others, you know? It is what it is, but... Anyway. Welcome back, everyone. Some more, Final Fantasy XIV The Realm Reborn. Still in the post-game, almost 20 parts now. I just realized the post-game itself is taking us as long as Final Fantasy XII did. Holy shit. There's so much to do in this goddamn game. I'm not even doing the storylines for other job classes. I mean, Jesus. So much dialogue, so much everything. There's so much content. But yeah, let's continue, shall we? Okay, we're on the right one. Right? Yeah. No. No. Let's start here. For a brief moment, anyway. You just remembered at the last second. Sarkatanas! It's not where we're supposed to be. So I heard the first winning lottery numbers for, shit, today's Saturday. I gotta go check. The stupid Cactpot board lottery thing. Not the gold saucer for my characters, but anyway. I think today they started announcing, or like sometime last night, or this morning, they started announcing the first lottery winners for housing, and it's a fucking mess, from what I heard. It's turned into a complete shit show. Because I guess the RNG was programmed in a weird way so that there can be no winner, even if like a bunch of people applied. The winner can be a number that's not assigned to anybody who applied. Therefore, no one won. I was like, what the fuck happened? So like, there's people getting messages saying, well, the winning number was 0, but players are assigned a number from 1 through however many people applied, I think. There is no player 0. So if a winning number turns out to be 0, then no one gets the house. I was like, what? I love it, because people are freaking out all over social media, especially Twitter. It's going crazy, so I'm just like, oh my god. A friend told me about this. So I was just like, this is hilarious. I wish I could go see it, but you know, I'm still trying to avoid Endwalker spoilers, obviously, so I'm not about going on social media for FF14 stuff, because sooner or later I'll see something that'll just make me go, oh fuck, I shouldn't have checked this. Yeah, let's go to Linza though. Uh-oh, sneeze warning. I hardly see it because of the stupid text, but... Yeah, what's up, buddy? Did I suppose it doesn't really matter. No, it's whatever. So, like I said last night, we were gonna check on Yugri and the fraternity she joined here in Limsa to share her Far Eastern combat knowledge with them, and they, you know, their knowledge with her, yada yada, you know, sort of a symbiotic relationship kind of thing. A mutual exchange of knowledge and information. So I was like, let's go check up on this mysterious fraternity of Limsa that she joined. And that's here. There's not behind these convent doors for a worldly type like you. Gov? The fuck? Okay. We're the dutiful sisters of the Edelweiss. All pure and saintly like. Now bugger off. Hang about. You sure that Cub goes by the name of Leon? Yeah? Heh, I knew it. Something about Millen Primals leaves its mark on a Cub, it does. Anyway, you being who you are, you must have an inkling as to what goes on here, eh? The Admiral sent you to meet with one of my associates after that business with Leviathan, if you recall. Yep. See, it follows the story, the main story. That's right, mate. You stand at the entrance to the Rose Guild. Of course, it'd be a poor sort of underground organization if we put a bleeding sign up on the front door. That's true. So you're the doorman who keeps it, secret by saying that it's some kind of religious thing instead. Anyway, from what Lady Yuguri told me, you're pretty handy in a scrap. Oh, she spoke for me, eh? Nice. I mean, Yuguri's pretty cool at fighting as well. Mutual. She's off seeing to some private business right now, but I reckon we might have some use for a bang-up cub like you. If you've an interest in joining us, tip us your what? Your daddles, and we'll put a hilt in each one. Is that another word for hands? Just like the gods intended. So what do you say? Fancy learning a new trade? Sure. Good to see you're keen, but I should probably warn you on a few points before you dive in. Where most guilds take pride in turning their members into the best bloody candlestick makers they can be, we only care about getting the job done. And the job ain't pretty. You become one of us and you'll soon be neck deep in scum and knife fights. My kind of party. Let's rock. So, if you're looking to scamper across rooftops and bilk dandies of their blunt, what the hell is he saying? You'd best take up with a different crew. Think on that and come back if you're still keen. I don't know, understand half the shit he's saying, I'll be honest, this is gonna be hard. My first daggers. And there it is. I didn't scare you off then? Bean! They told me it was a meddlesome cub, and so it's proved. You'll need every ounce of that metal soon enough. Now step inside and have a prattle with Jack. He's our upright man, the master of the guild. You may now freely enter the Rose Guild. Speak with this guy, Lone Word, whenever you wish to gain admittance to the guild's headquarters. Alright. You looking to head inside? Please. Okay, so the New Game Plus portion starts from this point, so I can switch back over to my other character. Yeah, I'll just do that, so we don't have to watch the same scenes twice. See, I started with this character because you don't get the... When you start New Game Plus, you just start right for, like, this. You missed that whole part where he talked about Yuguri and you beating up Leviathan. You miss all that. But also, since they added this job, you can actually unlock it way before any of that stuff happens in the story. You don't actually have to get that far. In which case, the dialogue is different. They won't say anything about Leviathan. They'll just talk to you like you're someone new who nobody knows. But yeah, the dialogue, if you wait until the actual part of the main story where you're supposed to unlock the job, they'll talk about that instead. They do this with other job classes too. Not all of them. And I'm talking about job classes added after Realm Reborn. Like Rogue. And other expansions as well. Some of the dialogue will reflect your progress in MSQ, basically, for those job quests. But anyway, yeah, so... Fuck it, we'll start here. Or we'll switch over to the other character now. And go from here. Marlboro. I rolled the dice again. We're in Marlboro now. Most of these quests are going to take place in Limsa anyway, so... Lims is busy on any server. Phew. I do remember now, as I was talking to that guy, the dialogue for everybody here, for this entire quest line with the rogues, is fucking hard to read and understand. It's like, Limbs in general can be like that. You guys remember that city-state intro? Baderon had me fucking... I was like, what the fuck is he saying? It's gonna be like 10 times worse with these guys. I hate to say it, but... The Dutiful Sisters of the Edelweiss, a seemingly innocent convent that, in truth, is the base of operations for the Rogue Guild, a collective of men and women who work from the shadows to preserve peace in Limsa Lominsa. Here you learn the tricks of the trade under the watchful eye of Guildmaster Jack and discover the dark underbelly of Lenosha. That quest thing's a little different. Oh, maybe this one's different. Maybe they actually, you know... Somebody randomly casted a heal on me. That was weird. Yeah, I'm good. Well, maybe this one is different. Maybe you do get to see the dialogue. I know that didn't happen with the Lancers Guild. That's why I showed the dialogue for the introduction to the Lancers Guild during the Gridania State intro, if you look back at that. Oh yeah, this one actually shows it. It doesn't do that for most of the job classes. Yeah, same dialogue as before. Oh, you're the guy who took out Leviathan or whatever. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's a reference to Leviathan. Yugri told him that I'm good in a fight, but she's off seeing to some private business, so we're probably not going to see her. She's not here right now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we read all this already, so I'm not going to bother. My first daggers, let's go. I didn't scare you off then? Bean, they told me it was a meddlesome coven, so it's proved. Made every ounce of metal soon enough. Step inside and have a paddle with Jack. He's our upright man, the master of the guild. So now we go in. Looking ahead inside? Yep. Was that a screen tear again? Oh shit. Starting to get worried my PS5 or my computer's gonna shit the brick. Or maybe even my capture card or something. He's hoping that doesn't happen. Oh, there's a little logo. Every like job class guild type place always has one of those inside the place. But I like this one, the environment reflects, you know, the personality of this job class. Sort of rough and rustic, you know? Alright, so you must be Jack. What's up, dude? Hi, I'm the one they call Jack. Though I'm surprised you heard of me. Perhaps you'd be good enough to tell me your name, along with that of the kindly cub has told you mine. The dude right outside. Ah, the famous Leon! Old... What? Lonnie? Yeah, old Lonnie left patch... left... What? Old Lonnie left patch let you in, did he? Nice, he's got a nickname for the guy outside. Lonnie left patch. He can't throw a blade for shite, but that one I don't miss not when it comes to sizing up a Dinberg Colt for the Stalin. This is gonna be hard. Just one thing. You ain't a pirate, are you? No. Well, then it's time you was stalled to the rogue. Pull on your best beater cases and I'll swear you in myself when you're ready. I don't know what the hell he is saying right now. Now, I'd fill your waddles with the storied history of our guild, but that's just what wids and wind. I think wids is like words, but with an accent. This is wids and wind. The most important thing, the only thing we care about is getting the job done. I wonder if this is the guy we saw with the mask on when we introduced Yugri to these guys. But he didn't reveal his identity, so... Now most folk, and I'm assuming you're among them, know that not long after Limsa's founding, the city was overrun by a motley collection of pirates and thieves. But as wild as that lot were, it soon became clear that they'd all end up killing each other if they didn't lay down a few rules. An unspoken code of conduct, as it were. 1. You don't bite the purses of your fellow Lominsons. 2. You don't rook a crew out of their spoils. And 3. You don't trade coals like they was chattel. Don't even know what that means. I'll admit the finer points of the code are a mite murky, but most agree on those 3 at least. Now you might be thinking none of that amounts to a sack of dillberries now the Admiral's outlawed piracy, but in the back alleys and black markets where Merylvid's grip ain't so tight, the code's still alive and well. The map of Eorzea. And just as the law is enforced by the Yellowjackets, the code is regulated by us rogues. We go where the shadows are darkest and hand out justice to them as break the code. Some rum-soaked cove steals goods from the wrong coal, and we steal them back. That's the job, my natty lad. course, we don't hop the twig when blade work's called for, neither. Oh, we don't hop the twig when blade work's called for, neither. They're willing to shank people, is what they're saying, to get the job done. You'll see there's more to our dagger play than just sticking coals with the pointy end. We'll weaken a mark with poison, fade away and strike in the darkness. Whatever it takes to get the work done. Well, Leon? What do you say to that? Got the guts to do a rogue's job? Do you have the guts to do a rogue's job? Sign me up. That shit don't faze me. Alright then. First off, we'll have to get your kit sorted out. A rogue needs to be light on his do-beaters to stay on the mark's trail. The job might have you fighting across a deck or weaving through a mob, and the last thing you want is Bleeding Great Battle Axe, but hooks itself on every rope and post. A Bleeding Great Battle Axe. Yeah, you can't really swing it in tight quarters. That's why we stick to daggers. They let you slip through the streets just as easily as they slip through a rook's ribs. Nice. I'm gonna shank people, prison style. Here, take these stabbers and let's see how they look on you. Just don't get so excited with your new toys that you forget to dress for the role. You'd be surprised at how many colts come back to me in their bloody small clothes. You're making fun of the fact that when you change job classes, you're completely naked, and if you don't buy like level 1 gear or wherever the job starts, you'll have nothing except a damn weapon. Rogue unlocked. So, like this, I should say. Where is it? Too much shit here. There it is. This is an example. You end up like this. And then if you didn't, go buy clothing ahead of time, so it's like, what? And that's how you do this. Alright, I should actually switch to the proper gear set to make sure I don't accidentally overwrite it. Alright. I got your shanks. I'm ready. Gotta take this off though. There we go. Stabbers in your fambles. Managed to strap those daggers on without cutting yourself? Well, we're off to a good start, I'd say. Excuse me. Next, you'll want to get a feel for the weight and speed of your new weapons. I reckon those bleating cheats in the fields outside Limsa should serve for your first lesson. Alright, bleating? So, sheep? Aye, test your blades on a few of them lambs, then slice up some rats and pugils for good measure. Mind that you mill them beasties one at a time though, lad. Excuse me. I know you've served far worse in the past, but you're no dimber damber with them stabbers just yet. Oh, I still have... that's right, they got rid of this. I guess I should reset the hotbar a little then. Shadowfang, rest in peace. Hey, at least that keeps Rogue to 1 hotbar now. Oh yeah, I forgot to do like a mini recap. I don't really make a habit of doing it, unfortunately, but that person was invisible. Yeah, I don't do it too often, but basically for those, just tuning in on this video, the previous video we finished off Hildebrand's questline. There it is. Middle of Nosha. Alright, so... rats! You want some too? Yeah, this is, that's how Thancred fought. Shanked. This run though. Little knives. Alright, that's it then. Oh wait, the lions. The first enemies you told me to kill. Oh, and for those, for anyone curious, I am still following exactly what I did in, what's it called? In my first playthrough. I genuinely started as a Dragoon, or Lancer. And then, around the time Yugiri was introduced to the story, you know, and the whole thing with Leviathan, I decided to try out Rogue because I said this before, ever since I played Final Fantasy V as a kid, my two favorite job classes, just because of the way they look, just because I think they're cool, are Dragoon and Ninja. So, I was like, perfect opportunity since it ties into the main story a little bit. Let's unlock the Ninja class. And yeah, I did it before Heavensward. Wait. That Aetheryte's a little closer, actually. Jesus Christ. I'm talking about the damn Aetheryte. Looking ahead inside? Yep. He's gonna say that over and over a lot. So I'm probably just gonna skip it from now on. Alright, Jack, I did the work. What's up? Done with your milling, are you? You can never have enough blade practice, me young colt. In fact, I'll even add a list of marks to your hunting log. Pit yourself against a lot and you'll soon learn some new steps for your dance with the daggers. Aye, you must think of yourself as a dancer, not a bleeding butcher. You only need so much force to ram a short blade into the hilt. Precision and speed, that's how you get the most out of your stabbers. Bulky armor will only have you plodding about like an ungainly aurochs, so make sure you're wearing gear what'll let you move freely as well. Alright, get your blade work up to scratch, Leon, and I might just have a job for you. A dainty dilemma. Alright, what you got? Oh there, Leon. I must say, you're looking comfortable enough with those stabbers of yours. I reckon you're good and ready for your first assignment. Ordinarily, I'd stow me wids and let you get on with your work, but seeing as we only just dragged you into the shadows, there might be a couple things what you ain't familiar with. Let's build on what you likely do know, and that's the fact that the Admiral, God's bless her soul, has outlawed piracy in Limsa Lominsa. So why do you think there's still so many sodden pirates in this town? I'll tell you why. It's because there's still one way for them to loot and pillage without incurring the wrath of the law. And what is that? All you need to do is apply to serve the thalassocracy as a certified privateer. A captain with a privateer's license is free to terrorize the seas till the old goats come home. So long as he only targets vessels what belong to the Garlean Empire. Of course, considering how bloody vast the Empire is, that's plenty of looting to go. That's plenty of looting to go around. Crews fill their holds with Imperial plunder, then sail back here to Limsa to offload the spoils. And that's where this particular case went sour. See, this one crew got their fambles on a Magitech device. A firing mechanism, to be precise. But was rooked out of their hull by some heavy-handed cubs. If you'll recall, that don't sit well with the code. If you're bold enough to rook a pirate out of his due, then you'd best be prepared for a visit from the rogues. Right. Stole from the wrong people. Ah, and speaking of visiting rogues, Underfoot, over here, lad. I want the pair of you working together on this. Pass sentence on them code-defying rooks and bite back that Magitech part. Eh? What's the code need me for? You're in charge of new recruits, ain't you? It's Leon's first assignment. You're to go along and give him the benefit of your wisdom. Since when was I in charge of new... Ah, bugger it. It's just like saying, ah, fuck it. So I guess we're to be partners for the now. The name's Paramu Haramu, but most of me fellows call me Underfoot. He might seem a touch reluctant, but Paramu's one of our best. You just do as he says and he'll get the job done. You'll get the job done, sorry. Find it hard to read too fast. Alright then, me young rogue. Seeing as this is your first official outing, I want to be sure your dance steps are up to the task. With them short blades, you need to get in good and close to your mark, eh? But we ain't bleeding swads in shining armor, and the lighter kit we wear ain't much protection from a click to the gan. What the fuck are they saying? So if you don't fancy spitting blood and teeth, your best defense is simply not being there when your mark winds up to land a nasty clout. Sliding round to flank usually does the trick, but there's some rum fun every rogue should master, the shade shift. Clear your mind and trust in your speed, and you can leave an axe-wielding brute or spell-flinging mage chasing your shadow while you bury your stabbers in his guts. God damn, this is torture. Right, now it's time you put this lesson into practice against some of those Arle out in lower Lenosha. I hope you was paying attention, lad, because those tentacles can pack a wallop. Enjoy! I might be tongue-tied from all the reading from yesterday, too. I'm tripping over my words more than I usually do. But again, the way they talk doesn't help. Okay, so just teleport to the exit, or south, or whatever, lower Lenosha. The only aetheryte in that area is so far away from, like, anything useful. I guess that's not true, but... This one. Says lower Lenosha right on it. Read, you fuck! These guys? Oh, right, I have to turn this off early. Eventually I'll be turning it off permanently, so I'm enjoying it while I can. Done with your practice, then? The sting of them tentacled buggers will soon teach you to stay on your toes, eh? Now we've got your blood rushing, I'd say it's time to get down to work. First things first, we need to track down them addled cubs what rooked that Magitech gadget. Might be as one of our rogues has heard something. The guild thrives on information, you see, and we've got agents scattered far and wide with their glazes keen and their wattles to the ground. Let's pay us a visit to... I'm gonna say it's an I. It'll one. At the Droning Wench. Ask her for a weak ale and see what that gets you. I'm not setting you up for a laugh, lad, trust me. Well, that makes me more suspicious. Ask her for a weak ale, huh? There's a tiny bit of humor here to be had. Yeah, there we go. Spin this way there. Excuse me, sir? Ma'am? Oh, there he is. Order yourself a weak ale. It'll all make sense in a bit. Alright. Welcome to the Drowning Wench. What's your pleasure, sir? Give me a chilled ale. Look at him. He just shook his head like, nope, that wasn't it, you moron. Certainly, sir. Take a seat and I'll bring it straight to you. To your... Change your mind? Yeah. How about a strong ale? He's like, nope. Wrong again. She says the same thing. Okay, a weak ale. Never in all my days. We may serve some cheap grog in the wench, but not that was watered down. If our usual ale is too bold for your taste, mayhaps you'd like to order from the underground menu? Hint, hint. That's exactly right. Aye, there's quite a lot on offer for a customer with your roguish charms. Was there something in particular I could help you with? Yeah. Underfoot sent me. About that thing. Ah, the trouble over that Magitech loot? Which was not a subtle job. The gang in question is an unusual group of former pirates calling themselves the Dainty Demolishers, or Demolishers. I was gonna say Demolitioners, that's why. The Dainty Demolishers. They seem to be enamored of port dandy mannerisms and have a preference for seizing Garlean machinery. They're also known for conspiring with goblins. Rumors say that the Demolishers visit a beastman camp in Middle Anosha to fence their goods. And those goods generally take the form of Imperial technology. I imagine the goblins were rather pleased to take possession of a mark... Crap, what is this? I think L is 20, right? Or is it 50? I looked this up before. I want to see what number this is. I'm pretty sure it was 20, but it could be 50. Yeah, I even have it in my goddamn search history because I looked it up before. What was L again? Oh, it's 50. Okay, it's 50. There's none for 20. I keep getting it confused with 20, but no. Okay, so that's 50. Alright, so... I imagine the goblins were rather pleased to take possession of a Mark 63 anti-aircraft cannon firing mechanism. Yep, that adds up. If you mean to steal the device back, then your trail leads to the goblin camp in Summerford. Summerford, eh? On your way, lad. Meet me across the river from the camp and we'll plan our next move. Alright. That away. There we go. Where's my soundboard when I need it, right? What am I doing? Get your noggin down, Leon. I've been snitching the action across the way there. Oh, over there? All those goblins? No sign of the Demolishers, but I did see one of them gambler cubs stuffing the Garlean gadget into his backpack. I knew it'll one would steer us alright. This is your chance, lad. Hop that gambler gobby and grapple that device. I've lost track of which gob it was, but I'm thinking it's that sod on the left. Just make sure you dance away from any bomb blasts. Twisting and dodging in the middle of a fireball might not save you from getting your eyebrows singed off. AK, get the fuck out of the AoE. Got it. I said the one on the left, right? There are two on the left. I'll take them both out. I got it! But now I got a bunch of them after me. That's the way, lad. There was not for me to do but sit on me daddles and watch. So you've got the goods then? Yeah? Developed in the 43rd year of the first Garlean Emperor's reign, this trigger device works with all Imperial Mark 63 anti-aircraft cannons. Firing mechanism number 43. Unless the X... Maybe it's the other way around. If the X comes before the L, it's kind of like having the I before the V. Like an I before a V makes 4, not 5. So maybe XL is actually 43, not 63. That's why the firing mechanism was number 43. It would match up. Yeah, so maybe it's 43 then. When you have an X before the L. And it would be 63 if it was the L first and then the X. That makes more sense. So it's actually model number 43 then. Alright, this is a device, and no mistaken. Let's get it back to the guild, eh? We still owe them Demolisher bastards a million, but they'll keep for the now. Here, you should be the one to deliver the prize to Jack. It was your hand what snatched it out of the goblin's paws, after all. Thanks, dude. Who are they? Captain! Captain, I say! Some fiend has perpetrated violence upon our goblin colleagues whilst we sought but to wet our throats with fine libations. This will not stand, Captain. Our finely filched loot has been pilfered from under our noses. Blast and bother. My blood boils and bubbles at the temerity of this affront. I know not the identity of these audacious buffoons, but they shall be made to pay and pay dearly. With me, my fine fellows. Huzzah! Yeah, I'm far away enough. I'm just lazy. I was like, not really, but fuck it. Saves me if I'm having to run to the Aetheryte too. Right here. Hand that Magitech gadget directly to Jack. I ain't about to take credit for your field work. Thanks, dude. You managed to grapple that firing mechanism yet, Leon? Yep, right here. Ah, still in one piece, too. You've done well for your first assignment, lad. They don't look like much, but that crew put their lives on the line to clear this here bauble. They'll be pleased to see it snatched back from the ruffians. Right on, dude. We've yet to do for the dainty demolishers, Jack. The job ain't over. That's right. You're right, Underfoot. It ain't. You break the code, you face the consequences. So we still gotta punish them, is what you're saying. Oh, this is not at all what I expected from the inside of a convent. Well, they saved us the trouble of, going to chase him down. And who might you be, sirs? Of course, we don't even know who the fuck they are. Yet. Your ignorance is understandable. After all, our schemes are always perfect, our heists impeccable. Shall I reveal our infamous name and drink in your delicious terror? What the hell are my glasses? What is that? We are deadly, dastardly, and dictionally devilish. Quail before the dainty demolishers. Captain! Captain, I say! There's the cat who misappropriated our merchandise! Looking at me. I concur. He is the self-same simpleton whom we trailed unnoticed to this very establishment. Oh great, they followed me. Surprise, surprise! Now, my dear dandies, let us not be unpleasant. We should endeavor to resolve this distastefulness without resorting to insults or other less diplomatic methods. At least not yet. You there. Yes, the clean-cheeked errand boy. Be a good fellow and fetch me your superior. One of your colleagues has committed a terrible crime against us, and we shall not be leaving until the proper restitution has been paid. Oh, an errand boy now, am I? Wrong choice of words. He's like, you laughed at me? He's like, oh shit, sorry. Tell me, Captain, just what kind of place do you think this is? Hmm? This place? I suppose it is some manner of convent. The one-eyed doorman named it the Dutiful Sisters of the Edelweiss or some such. And you have yet to realize your mistake? Your fate was sealed the moment you dragged your sorry quarren across this threshold. Are you threatening me, boy? I'll have my fellows cut out that impudent tongue. We've exhausted our reserves of dainty today, lads. Show these fraudulent sisters how the demolishers deal with upstarts. You still don't understand, do you? Damn! There are but three sorts of coals what the doorman will let pass. Clients, recruits. God, spit! I'll kill you all! Acting all, you know, innocent and... Oh no, what's gonna happen? Didn't your mom teach you not to interrupt a lady when she's talking? You'd have learned that the third sort of coal is a bollocks for brains mark what marches himself right into the rogue's den. Rogues? But we were so careful! Well, that's what they specialize in, making you think you're safe, but you're not. I'd heard tales in my pirate days, stories about the merciless wraiths who uphold the code. They weren't called rogues back then, though. The upright thieves they were! The knives in the shadows! You can't beat them. You can't be them. I mean, you're just trying to scare me. Well, the captain of the dainty demolishers is not so easily cowed. Okay. To the hells with your deceptions. Huzzah! Huzzah for my fallen comrades! Damn! Absolutely fucking wrecked. Deceptions? Aye. Anyone you meet could be a rogue captain, even a clean-cheeked errand boy. He's still breathing. Find some rope and string him up someplace in town. I thought nobody else was phased either. They were all just like, yeah, that guy's fucked. And now the job's done. Quite an introduction you had there, eh? Look, he's like, damn! Welcome to Limsa Lamensa's ever-churning underbelly, where the thieves shed their skins and become rogues. I'm not much for discussing the old days, but since it's come up, I might as well clear up the confusion. It was back when piracy was at its peak. The cubs who protected the code were Dimberdampers, the best lads and lasses to be had from among the pirate crews. They bit back the goods what was wrongly bitten and came from the guilty under cover of darkness. Came for the guilty under cover of darkness. Shadows. Upright thief became the title for these cubs, what dealt in sanctioned stealing and milling. But it was only those as had cut all ties with the buccaneers' life what was accepted into the ranks. Conflicting loyalties and all that. They formed their own guild and even their own way of speaking, and what was once pirates was pirates no more. Later on, when Merylvid took the Admiral's chair, the upright thieves agreed to abide by her laws. We became the Rogues Guild to mark the change, and altered our recruiting policy to accept venturers like yourself. But although the title is different, the job remains the same. Uphold the code and preserve the underground society what spawned us. Just as you've done with this assignment. Keep up the good work, Leon, and you'll go far in the shadows. Okay. Straight into the shadows. A fine evening to you, Leon. And a fine evening it is for a spot of work, wouldn't you agree? This time round, it seems some eager buccaneers scampered aboard a local merchantman and made off with a shipment of muskets. Now, seeing as it ain't lawful to toy from a London vessel to begin with, the Yellow Jackets fell upon them daft cubs before their boots was even dry. Aye, they caught the pirates right there on the docks, but the stolen boomsticks was nowhere to be found. Fenced in a longboat deal, I'm thinking. That's when our guild was officially contracted to retrieve the goods, which weren't really needful since the code would have had us on the job anyway. You don't bite the purses of your fellow Laminsons and all that. So this is your assignment, me natty lad. Find out where the weapons went and bite that shipment back. Seeing as the cutters as hit that merchantmen are already rotten in irons, you needn't rush in with your stabbers a stabbing. I want this job handled quick and quiet, and I have the perfect partner to show you how it's done. This here's Bakeb the Stray. Ain't no other rogue that can match her in the arts of skulking. Skulking. A pleasure. There's some problem, Bakeb? You seem a bit out of sorts. I'm bloody starving. I had one of them finger sandwiches set aside. You know, those egg-filled tasties that they make at the Bismarck. But when I got back from me work, it was bloody gone. Oh, how's Bakeb's? I thought it was underfoot. Well, you just head out on the job and I'll see if I can't turn up that missing sandwich by the time you return. Alright, Jack. One more little detail you should know. That muskets was meant for the Yellow Jackets' armory, so once all is bobbed, you can hand the goods to one of their culls directly. Roger that. We can start whenever you're ready, Leon. I've had a colleague keeping a waddle out for aught that might help us, so I suggest you have a few words with her first. You'll find her at the Yalin, posing as a fishmonger. Aline, maybe? Weird name. Excuse me. Dun, dun, dun. Hello there, sir. We've carp and trout and lobster and shrimp. But I tell you've been looking for a special breed of fish, the long shiny kind what Sparkle put a bloke on his arse. Yep, a gun. We don't sell that kind here, but you might try them foreign merchants. What was they called again? Ah, the Traders of Edge. They hail from the South Sea Isles and are known for dealing in all types of nasty spitters and cutters. I should warn you, these folks ain't one for questioning the source of their merchandise. In fact, they seem more than happy to pay for goods what came from below decks, so to speak. The black market, the underground, okay. But if you're still keen to get your hands on those rare fish, then you'd best hurry. The Edge merchant was visiting Limsa is looking to load up and leave the city before long. Just how he means to transport his goods remains a mystery, though. What with all the iron blades he's got nursed in his operation, it makes it hard for a girl to get close enough to eyeballing the competition, it does. I'll be sure to keep an eye peeled on your behalf, but it might be as you can learn a little more from the folk around town. Oh, there she was. I was like, where the fuck is Vaked? She was listening from over here. So I found this out. Traders of Edge, eh? Well, if one of their merchants been staying in the city, then someone will know something to point us in the right direction. The trick is to listen without being seen. You'd be surprised at how culls will cackle when they think no one else is about. We'll focus on places that see plenty of traffic. You can have the Bismarck, the ferry docks, and East Hawker's Alley. I'll try my luck at a few other spots, then meet you in front of the guild when I'm done. Remember, keep hidden, keep quiet, and keep your waddles open. Alright. Will do. Whatever the hell any of that meant. Oh, shit. Went the wrong way to get to the goddamn etherite. Still faster to just go back down and double back that way. Shit, not here. Inside then? Diving Dove appears distressed over some matter. Approach her while cloaked by your hide ability and attempt to eavesdrop on her grumbling. Oh, simply infuriate! Yes, sir? Pray place your order with one of the servers and we'll prepare your meal with all due alacrity. Still gotta look that one up. Move some distance away, then approach her again while cloaked. Right. I just wanted to see what she would say. Alright. There we go. Yeah, I should do this. Ah, the sneer on that customer's face! Does he think I can command the skillet to cook more swiftly just to meet his pressing departure schedule? I don't know how things are done in the South Seas, but here in Limsa Lominsa, folk appreciate that fine cuisine cannot be rushed. Come now, Dove, you must not speak ill of the patrons. Now, what was next on my list? Ah, another finger sandwich for the dutiful sisters. Someone there must be rather fond of eggs. It looks like Jack placed a new order for a sandwich to replace the one he ate that he had no idea was Bekeb's. Okay, so what was this word? What does it mean, actually? Exactly what she implied. Alacrity means brisk and cheerful readiness. So, kind of another word for doing something quick. But in a positive way, I suppose. You areas to hit. Geralf is speaking in a low but lively tone to a nearby customer. An excellent choice. Might I also direct your gaze to these items on the bottom... Ah, another customer. Welcome, welcome. Did you see all you like? Pray stay and browse to your heart's content. Let's see what he says when he doesn't know I'm there. Geralf is hawking his wares to a customer. You have quite an eye for quality, sir. We've a splendid range of produce from every corner of Eorzea, but one simply cannot visit Limsa Lominsa without sampling some of the local specialties. Would you care for some freshly squeezed Lanosian orange? Or perhaps our famed salt cod is more to your taste? Geralf continues to espouse the virtues of his merchandise, but his impassioned urgings appear to have little relevance to your assignment. So this was a waste of time. Alright. Oops. Fuck it, I'll just do this. I think I had to move one up and that was it. Reverend Nasu appears distraught. What to do, what to do? Oh, good greetings, sir. Do you seek passage to Airport? Or Costa del Sol, perhaps? What's on your mind, sport? He's mumbling anxiously to himself. Curse my sense of duty. Would that I had stayed at the wench for that extra pint instead of returning early. I didn't ask to see anyone being bribed, and certainly not my relief pilot. I wonder what that merchant was about. Smuggling? Most likely. Should I report this to the Yellow Jackets? But what if I'm being watched? I could end up face down in the harbor. Yeah, that's always a dilemma, isn't it? I think I'm done, kid. We found our guy. Welcome back, Leon. I hope your skulking went well. Mm-hmm. You might be an angel of death with the daggers, Colt, but any rogue which shuns the shadows is headed for an early grave. A sneaky cub can nose about without risking a scrap, or slip himself into the best position to ambush a mark. Once they've seen you, though, your rum fun is done. Hiding is part concealment and part distraction, and you won't be disappearing on a cub that already knows you're there. Yeah. Alright, I'm done prattling. What'd you manage to learn about our musket-buying merchant friend? He bribed this dude's associate over here. Slipping coin to a ferry pilot, was he? Yep. And by what you heard from that chef at the Bismarck, this trader means to hop the twig, and soon. That too. That matches with me own findings. He's vacated his rooms at the inn and paid his dues in full. Being a merchant, we can be sure that he won't be leaving without his merchandise. So here's the plan. We wait for him to stack his goods on the pier, then you ghost in and grab all them firearms. I'm hoping we can get the job done quiet and under cover of darkness, but it never hurts to be prepared for the worst. Sounds like he's got a small army of sellswords on the payroll. I see. So ninja style, right. Try to avoid a fight when we can. I'll send word to the Yellow Jackets and have them post a coal near Hawker's Alley. That way you won't have far to bolt once you've bitten the goods. The mark should be along any moment, Leon. Have you got your skulking boots on? Yep. I've spotted the mark at the end of the pier. Sneak over there and lighten his load. Will do. Don't mind me. Did we say part distraction and part concealment? Damn. I wanted to see what he would say. What's up? You're not supposed to be here. I thought I ordered my hirelings to keep this jetty clear. Well, they're, I distracted them. They had no idea. Hmm? 1, 2, 3. There's one missing. My crate of muskets! It's gone! Uh-oh. That smug look. Thief! Stop him, you useless sluggards! What am I paying you for? Smug look at Leon out. He's just like, ha! Surprise, motherfucker! I stole your shit. We have no place to run. Time to get your stabbers out. My pleasure. Another one. Thieves! Scoundrels! A bonus to the one who brings me their hides! Slink past any other squads in your way, and get them goods to the Yellow Jackets. I'll lead these coals on a merry chase. Meet me in front of the guild once all is bob. Good luck! That power walk, though. Man, there's a lot of assholes. You get all these guys on you, you're fucking dead. Excuse me, sir? Alright. I'm far enough, he won't notice me. Here you go, dude. Stolen goods. Hi, these are our stolen muskets. The quartermaster will be pleased. Oh wait, there's an aetheryte closer this way. So I noticed I turned on my hotbar help display or whatever. I don't know why I did that, but I'm gonna turn it back off. Too cluttery. There we go. There we go. Much better. They turned hairy, didn't it, Colt? That turned hairy, didn't it, Colt? Once he reached the Yellow Jacket, though, the merchant called off his blades. Wise enough to cut his losses, I'll give him that. I'd say we're all done here. Let's head inside and tell Jack the bean news. The bean news. Cubs and beans. I heard the sounds of fighting coming from outside, and now I've whittled the cause of it. I thought we were aiming for subtle on this job. Well, we were, but shit happened. Not many swads, was there? But you got the Yellow Jackets what they wanted, so all's well that ends well, eh? You're on your way to becoming a first-class rogue, Leon. Aye, the job didn't unfold exactly as planned, but do you see the value of keeping out of sight? Skulking might seem slow, but it can save you time. And a fair amount of bleeding in the long run. True enough, true enough. Speaking of unexpected developments, I have a bit of bad news for you, Vikeb. The sandwich? I searched high and low, but it seems some unprincipled cub has raffled your sandwich. They were not but crumbs to be found. This is good. No, my sandwich. It was a Bismarck special. Do you know how much I was looking forward to that meal? Me belly's about ready to cave in on itself. 'Tis a tragedy of the highest order, love, and you know I can't bear to see me rogues in such distress. So I gave Underfoot the special assignment. He should be back any moment now. With a freshly made Bismarck special finger sandwich. You did that for me? You're not japing with me, are you, Jack? This ain't no japing matter. 'Tis a guildmaster's responsibility to see that all his cubs and morts are at their best for the job. Yeah, Jack, there you are. I've got that sandwich ordered. And didn't the chef give me a waddleful when I said he was in a hurry? Or we was in a hurry. Maybe next time you could think twice before you yaffle a fellow rogue sup. You fucking... Oh, bollocks. Damn. Outed. The truth is out. Jack, did you eat my supper? Now, lass, let's not be hasty. There's a fresh new sandwich right here for you. No harm done, eh? You've cloyed something what belonged to me, Jack, and I can't ignore the code. Aye, the code! We mustn't ignore the code. You're having a laugh, aren't you, lass? Lass? Oh, shit! Oh, no! That might be the swiftest string up I've ever seen. That's pretty far, too. How the fuck did you get him up there so fast? A punishment to fit the crime. Take a good long look, Leon. The code exists to preserve peace in Limsa, to keep the alleys from running red with blood. It cities me home, and I'll draw daggers on any cub fool enough to threaten that peace. A pointed lesson. Let's head inside, eh? Your sandwich will get cold. Hey! You mean to leave me here all night? At least you gave me a grand view of the harbor. God's pissed these ropes are tight. He's so far. And now we find ourselves indebted to the Rogues Guild. The Rogues Guild. Somebody's watching. The impropriety of it all. Would that I could see them occupying a cell next to those thieving pirates. It sounds like she doesn't like us very much. Poor bastard. He almost got away with it too, but then Underfoot had to open his big mouth. Kick his ass. Finally got down from that rope, dude. Ow. Them ropes will leave chafe marks for a bleeding week. I may have wriggled myself free, but that's the last time I let me belly do the thinking. Just think, the cub strung me up over an egg sandwich. Those cubs will well and truly stomp on the code, get it far worse. Keep up your training, lad, and you'll soon be handing out rogue justice yourself. Nice. So we're like Batman, basically. We're vigilantes. Cops that work outside the law, essentially. And we hide in the shadows. Exactly like Batman. Why? Because Batman is a ninja. He just dresses like a bat. But he's just a ninja. Ah, Leon. Just the cover I was hoping to see. We've some nasty trouble brewing. The client's on his way, so sit tight and pay attention. And call an Underfoot on the stray. Wait, Underfoot and the stray in on this as well. There'll be a right little rogue family reunion. Okay. We're about to hit the halfway point for this story. Jack, the client's arrived. Our guest here has come from Maelstrom Command, with confidential orders direct from the Admiral herself. So you know this won't be a simple job. I'm afraid your guildmaster speaks truly, though several days ago when an emaciated man stumbled into one of our camps seeking aid. Upon questioning the poor fellow, we discovered that he had narrowly escaped a life of slavery. He claimed that pirates had raided his village, abducting him and many others to sell on a black market auction block. We dispatched a patrol to confirm the tale and found the village almost completely destroyed. It was a meager settlement without so much as a guardhouse, thus did its unkind fate escape our notice until now. You'd think these pirates had never even heard of the code. Pillaging honest culls and dipping their wicks in the slave trade? They're heading the right way for a good stabbing. Aye, though it ain't set down in so many words, the code's notoriously unforgiving against those who raise weapons against the weak. After all, the first pirates in these parts were culls of what was fleeing oppression in the northern seas. Ignore your history and you risk becoming what it was you hated most. Every time. So, you've a mark for us then? That we do. From the description given to us by the escaped villager, we've determined that these lawbreakers are members of the Jolly Merchants. A pirate crew in possession of an official privateering license. It would appear, however, that privateering has been naught but a screen behind which to hide their illicit activities. One can only imagine how many other Leminson citizens have fallen prey to these wicked slavers. And we've let it happen right under our very noses. Naturally, the Admiral desires a swift resolution to this ignominy, but merely tracking down those poor souls who have already been sold is proving heavily taxing to our allocated resources. We could throw more soldiers at the problem, but that runs the risk of drawing the small folks' attention and inciting undue panic. Thus do we come to the Rogue Guild for help. We ask that you eliminate the Jolly Merchants and liberate the villagers presently in their custody, and that you do so with the utmost discretion. Consider it done. When those nasty cubs will feel our short blades pricking into their backs, they'll enjoy but a brief moment of regret before the code is rightly enforced. Alright, let's get to work. I'll be going after the Jolly Merchants myself. Underfoot, Bakeb, you two lend your skills to the Maelstrom's investigation and see what you can whittle about the culls what have already been sold. Leon, you're coming with me. I think you're ready for the next step of your education. Dude just looks over at me. Your aid and confidentiality in this matter is greatly appreciated. We can now focus on coordinating with the Yellow Jackets to free those unfortunate folk already sold into slavery. And targeting. These jolly merchant bastards won't be so jolly once we catch up to them. I've no doubt you and Jack can handle a few ale-sodden pirates. But if you need an extra set of handles, just say the word and we'll be there. Shall we get after these slaving cutthroats then? Our client tells me that the Jolly Merchantmen set sail from Aleport a few bells ago. Oh, aye, they might even board an Imperial ship or two, but that's just some mummery they're putting on to amuse the Admiral's swads. I reckon the rest of the crew would be back on land, looking to snap the shackles on a fresh herd of chattel. And just to prove me theory right, one of them jolly bastards got himself spotted creeping about the Ruffmans in Lower Lenosha. There's a bean cub over at the Morabi dry docks by the name of Swarsant, what'll likely know the full story. He's more of a shipwright than a rogue these days, but he keeps his glazes keen for the guild. Head over and have yourself a prattle, and I'll join you soon, like. Off we go. Aye, I know what you are. What can old Swarson do for you? Hunting down jolly merchant slavers? Ah, well that explains a few things. I was keeping an eye on the hustle about the dry docks, you see, when I spied an odd trio off in the distance. This rough-looking sod, one of your pirates I'd wager, was prodding along another bloke and this poor skinny lass. I've seen whipped curs less miserable than the two being herded. Last I saw they were headed south. What you're saying about this slavery business is true, and that jolly merchant's not going to walk his charges all the way to the market. No, he likely has a boat waiting for him. And if I were a slaver headed south, my vessel would be hidden somewhere along the Salt Strand. That doesn't leave you much time. Excuse me, you said Jack was on his way, yes? You'd best go on ahead and I'll point him in the right direction when he gets there. Right on, dude. Nice landing spot. Whew. Swarson came through for us, eh? Now what do we got here? This one looks a charmer. Thought and move, I told you! Me peg-legged grandmarbles quicker than you miserable sacks of shite. There's human trafficking for you folks. Or maybe you need another thrashing, is that it? You already forgot what happens when you try me, generous patience? I'm sorry, but please, no more beatings. We walked as fast as we could. But we need food, water. And get in the boat and shut your traps. You'll get fed when we reach the other side. The other side? Where are you taking us? Are you challenging me or just plain daft? I told you to keep your bleeding mouth shut. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to... Leviathan scaly ass, she's weeping again. Listen, we're headed to Ailport, alright? That's where me and me shipmates gather to take stock of the merchandise and decide what gets sold where. You see, some buyers want only lads, while others is looking for lasses. As long as we keep these rich bastards happy, we make more coin than we ever did scrapping with the Empire's war galleys. Not that you care about that, I suppose. What matters to you is that you'll be loaded onto the jolly merchantman, sailed off to God knows where, and Lims'll will be a distant memory. Exactly like human trafficking. That's basically what's going on here. So if I was you, I'd fill that empty belly with one last big gobful of sweet Lenosian sea breeze. What an imbecile. I'm sore tempted to put a blade twixt his eyes here and now, but that won't get the job done. No, we'll let him guide us to his mates in Ailport. Then we'll mill the whole bloody lot of them. The jolly merchants will get their due, don't you worry about that. We're synced with the... They've gone. We'd best hurry to Ailport. Unless you have a quicker way, there's a ferry that leaves from Candlekeep Quay. I'll meet you across the water, lad. Taking the faster but slightly more expensive route. It's keeping up. Leon, that jolly merchant cub's still with his captives. Seems they've taken a room under an alias. Hiding their operation in plain sight. Bold as brass, aye, but it's an old slaver's trick. See, even if some cull recognizes the merchandise, only a single handler gets boned. The rest of the crew just whistles, all innocent-like, while their mate has marched off to cry cockles. And you can bet they've threatened bloody murder for any prisoner what raises a hue and cry. Patience now, Colt. We'll just wait until we're sure that all these blackguards have arrived. Meanwhile, you'd better sharpen your stabbers. We've a busy night ahead of us. Let's do this. Ready for the job, then? Once the jolly merchants are all here, we'll ambush the sods and set their captives free. That ought to be long enough. We'll just have to hope there ain't any stragglers. Listen closely now, Colt. The merchants are disguised as plain old venturers and have settled themselves in 3 separate rooms here in Hillport. Okay. How do we whittle which coves are the merchants? Easy. Take a look at the daddles of that bingo swollen cull over yonder. He's wearing lavender gloves. The exact same type with that nasty sod at the Salt Strand had on. That'll be how they find each other in a crowd. Of course, it's also how I whittled where each of the bastards was staying. Just snilch the hopeless glazes of the company they keep, and you can be sure you found your mark. So, here's the job all laid out for you. We hit all 3 common rooms, mill the merchants quick and dirty like, and get those captives their bleeding lives back. Alright? Oi! The storeroom door's been forced open! Some thieving sod's been at the ale! What the fuck? Oh, was it this idiot? Well, they can't have gotten far. Better get the lads and do a sweep of the port. Ah, shit, this just complicates everything. Ugh, was that merchant cub gulping pilfered ale? You'd think they'd be doing their best not to draw attention to themselves, all things considered. Bloody oafs. That's what happens when, people get confident that they're not going to get caught doing something like this. They get so cocky, they just almost like start asking to get caught by doing shit like that. And now we've got a swarm of yellow jackets buzzing about. It's the true sign of an amateur. It's like, if you really know what you're doing, you know never to take unnecessary risks like that. But these guys are sloppy as hell. And now we've got a swarm of yellow jackets buzzing about, looking for blood. If they spot us wandering around in the Darkmans, I have a feeling they'll axe first and ask questions later. It'd be best then if the patrols never even knew we was here. Okay. We'll slip as sneaky as we can into each of the common rooms and use them telltale lavender gloves to identify our marks. There's innocent culls in there as well, mind, so let's try not to stab any as don't deserve it, eh? I'm thinking we should head out one at a time to better avoid them yellow jackets, so I'll let you take the lead. After you, Leon. I'll let ye take the lead. Our marks are behind the doors up ahead. Don't let them yellow jackets see you. Right on. So these people are innocent? I mean, you can kill them for fun, but you don't get EXP or anything out of it because you're technically not supposed to. Also, he's one of them. So I should probably just shank him from behind while I got the chance. Get out of me, face! Fuck you. Alright, you're free now. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, no problem. Now get the hell out of here. That's the trouble with being a vigilante, right? You have to avoid the cops as much as the criminals you're going up against. There's cops everywhere here right now. You don't even need to look at their gloves. Look at the red mark above their head, you'll know who they are. Hey, maybe he won't notice if I... But how did you... I didn't see what that guy yelled out. But sometimes the other people in the place will just like yell out something like, "Yeah, kick his ass!" No way to do this one without being seen, so might as well just fucking die. Damn. Did I get a critical or something? He just died in one hit. The other guy took 2. Oh, it's probably because it was a tank class, the first one. Oh. I'm free? Yes, you're free. Hi, Captain Jack. That looks to be the last of them, and you didn't even need my bloody help. Back into the shadows, lad. Right on. Get the hell out of here. Hands off the merchandise! Ain't no one cussing to our profits. Shit. God, where'd these cubs spring from? Get to stabbing, Leon. You don't have to tell me twice. No, don't target. See how they're just yelling like, yeah, kill him! They don't get involved, the other adventurers. Is there sometimes they used to have little text bubbles where they yell stuff out like, kick his ass! I've just finished reading the report. In addition to liberating those unfortunate lamented citizens, you've done much to cripple the Jolly Merchant's slaving operation. Thank you. The Admiral shall be most pleased. Not a bad night's work, eh, Leon? The Maelstrom will be taking care of them poor coals we freed, and I've made sure none of the merchants we downed are like to get up again. As for the Jolly Merchantman, well, her crew can expect a visit from the Admiral's finest galleys. And it won't be for tea and crumpets on the poop deck. Right, me natty lad. Our part in this is done. Time to head back to the sisters. Excuse me. Are you the ones who freed us? Hi. Was there something else we could do for you, miss? The Maelstrom squads will take you home if that's what you're worried about. Oh, no, I know. I just wanted to... Thank you. If I may, there was one other thing I wish to tell you. Moments before you rescued me, that dreadful pirate was muttering into his cups. So it's something about another raiding party that hadn't yet made it back. I beg your pardon? Oh shit, did we strike too early? It seems they'd been hunting for slaves in western Lenosha, and being so close to Aleport, our captor assumed they were out rounding up chattel until last bell. I just couldn't bear the thought of anyone else suffering as I have. Please, is there naught you can do? There certainly is, miss. Excuse me, you just get yourself safely home and leave this stray pack of jackals to us. I will pray for your success. Thank you again. Heh, so much for savoring a victory pint. I'll send word of this development to Underfoot and the Stray. We have some well-earned trade for the last of these jolly merchants. By the by, how's your throwing arm, Leon? I think it's time I learned you how to fling a proper blade. When you're out in the wide open roughlands, you often find the need to sting a cub from a distance. And I'm sure a canny lad like yourself will figure out all sorts of uses for a well-thrown dagger. Just keep it in mind for when we hunt down the rest of them slavers. Slave to the code. Those last few jolly merchant bastards must be camped out somewhere in western Lenosha. Now, if I was a black-blooded, gill-grubbing slaver, where would I be hiding? There's not to the west, but the Sagan pools. Even those bollocks for brains pirates know better than to trespass on fishback territory. And they won't want a chance running into patrols near Aleport, so that just leaves us east. The flock? Aye, they'll likely be nestled down in the ruins out there amongst the dodos. That's where we'll try to pick up their trail. You head on over and snilch the place while I send word to the sisters in the Maelstrom. Open your eyes, son, please. Pray help our child. Passed out? Obviously they haven't been feeding him enough. Or something. 2 quest battles in 1 quest. Jesus. Thank you for freeing us. We've been tied up here since those awful pirates snatched us from our beds. Those are some interesting looking dodos you've got there, Leon. No sign of the merchants though, eh? Nope. Their leader mentioned heading over to Ailport. He said something about there being no signal, and that was a signal that something was wrong. Oh, they found out that okay, shit. They just left us hobbled here like lambs for the market. One of them japed about keeping the meat unsullied in case there was trouble. Pray let us flee this place before they return. And who are you to just sidle in and set loose our hard-won prizes, huh? So it's the damnedest thing. We'd have a crew lodge in an airport, and not a one of them survived the night. Done in by a couple of sneaky curs what favored the short blades, they say. I'm supposing that was you two. Seems you've a bone to pick with our choice of trade. I can't say as I've much use for slavers, except as a place to bury me knives. Oh, and I wouldn't bother yourself with waiting on your ship to come back neither. The jolly merchants are done for. Hehehe. You might have the right of it, lad. But then you wouldn't know the kind of coin 3 elfy slaves like them ones will bring us. I'll have a new ship and a new crew before a single moon is passed. That's a month. You hear that, chattel? You're each worth a shining bloody fortune, and you have me to thank for helping you learn your true worth. What a dick. Ignore this bleeding sod. In fact, why don't you step back a ways? These cubs are about to learn the consequences of breaking the code, and the discussion is like to get messy. Did you not think we'd come for you? You can try to stifle your victim's screams in the darkness, but the shadows are always listening. I like me slaves with a bit of fight. They'll fetch a grand price on the block. Sow your words and draw your steel. Goddamn targeting. Always more of them. Of course. These birds move slow, but they have a nasty peck. Keep your distance and skew them from afar. Aye, throw your bloody daggers at them, lad. That's a fuck ton of them. Ah, more dodos? Thought they were slavers, not bleeding farmers. Stay calm now, lad. Take them one at a time. One at a time. Take a number. Do you see what I mean about the targeting? It's never who you want. It's like... And still they come. Bean, saves us the searching. Yeah, that's looking at the bright side. Any more of them? Underfoot is here to get underfoot. Well, you guys are a little late. Or at least I would if any bugger was left standing. Yeah, exactly. This is a fine pile of corns. There's not for us to do. No scraps for latecomers. The Colt and me had a hunger. We were very hungry. Thank you. I shudder to think what would horrid fate awaited us had you not helped us to escape. Yeah, me too, actually. I knew someone would come. You're just like the heroes in the stories. They always arrive at the perfect time and triumph over the villains. Do you think I could be a hero like you? I know it could be brave and strong too. I just know it. You don't want to be like me, Lad. Listen now. Me and those cubs there, we're the ones what the scary folk are afraid of. And that's because we keep the rules for the world they live in. We don't much care if you shirk your chores or get into fights. But if you ever break the code and betray your mates, that's when we'll come after you. No matter how far you run or how well you hide. Scared the living shit out of him. Live your life like the hero you want to be, though, and you'll never need worry about that. You two can stubble it and all. I like making fun of him for how cheesy he's being right now. Look at him, that's cute. Being a little role model for the kid we're trying to be. I assume you are the citizens who were abducted by the Jolly Merchants? I am Captain Malala of the Yellow Jackets. Maelstrom Command has entrusted me with conducting you to safety. Alright, lad. These folks will take care of you. Go on, you'd best not get left behind. That glitch right there. Was there aught else, Captain? Word on a new job? A job? From me? For you? How patently absurd! Why, I'd rather hire a sewer rat to mind my larder. Damn, that was unnecessary. Was it during one of your jobs that you turned Aleport into a slaughterhouse? What dark age is this that we must employ assassins to enforce the law? It is this continued dalliance with underworld miscreants such as you that prevents Limsa Laminsa from ever fully expunging the stain of piratical infection. Look at these weapons you bear. A civilized person uses such implements to carve meat or peel fruit and leaves them at the table where they belong. At table. Do you perhaps clench them twixt your teeth as you swing over rails like the pirates you hunt? Our fair city has no place for those who refuse to abandon the brutish ways of the past. The only champions of justice this nation requires are the valiant and forthright soldiers of the Yellow Jackets. Jack, what the bloody hell does this Cole want with us? I've not the foggiest idea, love. Just smile and nod. Just smile and nod. I've not come here to be patronized. I've come to put a decisive end to piracy in all its forms. Consider this visit a gauntlet thrown at the collective feet of the Rose Guild. Heed well my words. Just before dawn this very morn, a maelstrom vessel stocked with provisions was boarded and looted by pirates. Much of the cargo was stolen, and that is vexing indeed. But it is the theft of 3 items in particular, these 3 unique treasures of nigh incalculable worth, that most distresses my martial colleagues. As for the brigands, they made well their escape, disappearing into the dawn's mist along with their precious plunder. A rum tale. What's it to do with us? I challenge you. A contest to reclaim these stolen treasures. Should my Yellow Jackets and I succeed in retrieving the greater share, I shall formally propose the abolition of the Rose Guild. Upon review of our achievements, the Admiral will surely concede that your unscrupulous institution has outlived its usefulness. Damn. Blow it out your wattle. I've better ways to spend me time. Oh, do you now? This incident constitutes a theft against the nation of Limsa Laminsa. Does that not violate your beloved code? If I'm not mistaken, you've no choice but to rise to the occasion. Unless, of course, you mean to slink back into your hole and abandon the fundamental precepts of your duty. That smirk. Like a sneer. Alright, you screeching shrew. You've made your bloody point. And you'll be sorry that you did, I promise you that. Your paltry promises amount to naught in the face of my conviction. I shall not rest until Limsa Laminsa is free of every last buccaneer, scoundrel, and shadow-dwelling ne'er-do-well. What now, Jack? For right now, we head back to the sisters. Gluttonous Gertrude. Big ass chicken. Well, it's a dodo, but. For a wee lass, that Malala's got some bollocks, and it seems she's well done without that whiffs of pirate stock. I don't take kindly to Cole's pulling me strings, but the shrew is right. The code's been broken, and we've a job to do. From the sounds of it, though, them cubs know what they were about when they cloyed them treasures. I'll need you at your best. It's time you learn the art of mugging. Rough up a Cole in just the right way, and he'll give up more than what you'd get if you just plain knocked him on his ass. Me and the lads will be busy whittling the story on them bitten baubles, so you're free to head out and sharpen your skill. Might even be as you'll pocket some extra blunt while you're at it, eh? Mug. Grinners in the mist, instead of gorillas in the mist. Been practicing your dance steps, Leon? Because we're about ready to run rings around Captain Malala and her swads. The Yellow Jackets have been pressing their investigations into the treasure that was cloyed from that maelstrom tub. But as you know, we've got our own networks of cubs that don't miss naught of the goings-on about town. True enough. As for the sharp end of the job, it'll be you, me, Underfoot, and the Stray. Let's get down to business, eh? The cab's late to the feast, so I'll just make sure we're all on the same page for the now. When you get down to it, we have two goals for this job. Fight back them 3 treasures and mill the cubs what cloyed them in the first place. You can be sure that Yellow Jacket Shrew will be doing her damnedest to beat us to the marks. And seeing as the fate of the guild is at stake, we best not drag our do-beaters on this one. I say we grapple them baubles afore she's even lifted anchor, and give her a proper reason to rage against us rogues. You seem awful keen on this contest all of a sudden, Jack. Aye, well, here's the thing. I sent me a grievance to the thalassocracy regarding the Shrew's challenge, but them paper shufflers don't care a whit as long as one of us gets the job done. So I figured I'd sail with the wind rather than against it. Besides, we wouldn't want to shirk our duties and force poor Captain Malala to blunder about in the scary darkness now, would we? How very gentlemanly of you. Well, them's the cards that we've been dealt, aren't they? Ain't they? Now stow your quips and let's hear what you've learned about them bloody treasures already. Aye, the treasures. According to the manifest of that maelstrom vessel, we're looking to bite back the Cerulean Star, the Silver Sorrows, and something called the Black Sarcophagus. Aside from the fancy names, I was able to whittle a few more details. The Cerulean Star, for starters, is a big old blue diamond which shines like... well, like a star, I suppose. Then we've got the Silver Sorrows, a pair of earrings what once graced the wattles of a Sultana of Uldak. There's a tale there, but one what don't concern us at present. Lastly, this Black Sarcophagus thing. I'm afraid that one remained a mystery no matter how much I poked and prodded. In any case, all 3 of these trinkets was recorded as spoils from official privateering raids. Now, as you know, a pirate will usually sell his plunder through a reliable fence. Sometimes, though, holding an auction is the only way to offload goods what is too extravagant or just too bleeding rare for the average Cole to deal in. Our 3 wondrous treasures fell into the auction-only category. When the bidding began in Aleport, the thalassocracy weighed in with its ample purse, made some unmatchable offers, then organized the tug for their merchandise to be shipped back to Limsa. And that's when our marks swooped in and picked their transport clean. I had a few words with them maelstrom sailors that survived the attack, and they pointed the finger at the grinning curs. Excuse me. problem is, not one Cole's seen hide nor hair of the curs. Not to mention their bloody ship since the raid. Sorry I'm late, Jack. But you'll want to hear this. Some of the cargo that was cloyed from that transport was just found during a routine inspection at the Lathagran checkpoint. Lathagran? The curs made landfall then? What are the treasures? Any mention of them? Not that I've heard, but the jackets ain't done shaking out all the boxes yet. And we better get eyes out there quick like. Leon, Underfoot, you're fresh for a run, ain't you? Yeah. Come on, Colt. I'll race you out to the checkpoint. There we go. I won our race. You owe me a pint, Leon. Japes aside, though, it looks like Bakeb was right about the cargo. From what I've been able to catch from them swads at the gate, it seems a peddler was boned for clearing goods what was known to be aboard that transport. They carted the poor sod away in chains, but the cargo itself is still here. I saw a pair of jackets carrying boxes up that wooden ramp. We need to know what's in them crates. I get the feeling they won't open their gans for the asking, though. Not while this fool's challenge is going on. Do you think you could skulk over there and see if they found them treasures yet? Oh, wait. Oh, whatever. Wait, how the fuck do I... Two yellow jacket soldiers are inspecting the seized cargo. Approach them well cloaked. What do they say if I don't? That's far enough! We can't be having any unauthorized persons interfering with our official investigations. Now move along. Okay. The yellow jackets are discussing the contents of the crates. This is all junk. No diamond, no earrings, and no bloody black sarcophagus. Looks like we'll have to lean hard on that skinny peddler if we're to find them treasures. The sergeant says the merchant's still pleading ignorance. Claimed he was hired to carry the goods through the checkpoint and not else. What a pile of bugle shite. I'm guessing the pirates have split the cargo and are trying their luck at every checkpoint. Captain Milala's already given orders to double the guard and inspect every cart and wagon what comes through. So they found naught of value, eh? Beam. Thought we'd lost the contest before we'd even properly started. But be that as it may, something don't add up here. Why would you order a cult to carry the goods through the checkpoint? No smuggler is that daft, surely. And even if by some miracle of the gods you squirmed through Lathagran without raising a fuss, why would you risk taking merchandise back to the city which you cloyed it from? No, there's a bigger picture here, and we need to take a step back to see it. Assuming the curs hired this peddler to do their dirty work, there'll be someone in the shadows that's brokered the deal. And I just happen to know a cub what makes it his business to oversee these kinds of shady arrangements. The thing is, this black marketeer bloke changes his haunts depending on how the breeze blows. Quite literally, in fact. I seem to recall the navigator's veil being shifted by a westerly this morning, so that'd put him... Ah, at Tiller's Rest. Nice and close. Why don't we go ask him a few questions before we head back to the guild? Lead the way. Hail, friend! I pride myself on my memory for faces, but yours is unknown to me. Are you an earnest customer? Or an inquisitive annoyance? I must be sure of your intentions. Oh, shit. Masterful master cannot abide foolish fools. Yeah! The dance is old, but the name is new. Put away your daggers, rogue. I have peddled my wares to your kind since the upright thieves stalked the night. Speak! What would you have of this humble merchant? Still tormenting the colts, eh, Granddad? We've come for information on a smuggling job. There was a peddler what was caught at the Lithagran checkpoint moving merchandise for the Grinning Curs. Pleaded innocence even when he had the screws put to him. You wouldn't know aught about that deal, would you? Every last sordid detail. Not a single grain of stolen sand passes through the shadows without my knowledge. But such prickly wisdom lodges tightly in one's throat. What have you brought to ease the pain of its passage? Spare me the theatrics, Granddad. Here's your usual purse. The sum is paid. The deal is made. May my answers sate your fickle hunger. Your hapless peddler was indeed innocent. He was but a beast of burden employed by associates of the Grinning Curs, and likely knew naught of his freight's tainted nature. A pawn, if you will. A convenient decoy. There are those amongst my acquaintances who specialize in providing such services. Aye, that's what I thought. The Curs wanted that cull to get caught. And now the jackets have had a taste. They'll waste their time yaffling every shite pie what comes through their checkpoints. What is he talking about? Meanwhile, the real treasures are hidden away in the Darkmans, along with the Grinning Curs. Not the Darkmans, Master Rogue. The Mist. Aside from the traveling merchant, the Curs associates have spent coin on another piece for this little game. Really? A navigator. One who has practiced in piloting a vessel through the Doxy's pull. The Doxies? Gods only know how many ships have sailed into that fog and soup and never came out again. And that's where you say the Curs have gone to ground? Now there's a trick what took some bollocks. Once their hunted tub was sitting dimber in the mist, so it would have been easy to have these associates of theirs ferry the junk goods to Lenosha. Then the canny cubs just needed to wait for the peddler to get boned, and draw the glazes of the Yellow Jackets inland. We need to strike now. As soon as they learn the coast is clear, they'll flee for open waters. A fair appraisal of events. Now that you know the location of your marks, however, it will not be so difficult to track them down. The Doxy's Pull was once an impenetrable shroud, but ever since the calamity, the mists are far less constant. Narrow your search to the heaviest banks, and you'll soon uncover those who wish to remain unseen. But now, a warning. The mists conceal other dangers besides the dogs you seek. A careless step may land you upon the chopping block. But chopping block? You can't mean... Seems I found myself another lead to look into. You hurry on back to Jack and tell him what we've learned so far. Though they might target us directly for interfering, is what he's saying. Have you guys noticed sometimes there's very long pauses where music just doesn't start playing when it should? That, I think, is a PS5 thing. Because it never happened on PS4, but I noticed it as soon as I switched to this console. Like, sometimes I'll go into a new area, or just music should be playing, and it just doesn't. There's like a huge delay for like a minute before the background music kicks in. You've never heard of the Grinning Curs? They're a pack of rabid buccaneers what used to belong to the Salthound. Back in the day, the Salthounds had the crew to fill more than a few ships. Aye, there was no other pirate gang but could match them when it came to sheer numbers. But when the Admiral came to power and passed her famous law, most of the hounds chose the life on land. And those what spat on the law became the Curs. Simple as that. About time, lad. He was gone so long I almost sent the stray after you. What happened to Underfoot? We went to go check on a new lead. So our marks and their bitten baubles are snug inside the doxy's pole, eh? I'll not discount the old man's warning, but we may not have a better chance, to crash the curs and grabble them treasures. We board their ship right now. You, me, and Vakeb. I suppose we'll be needing ourselves a tug for the voyage. I'll have words with Sarcent and see what the dry docks can spare us by way of a ship and a reliable crew. Get your kit together and meet us there. Them eyes. He had grey eyes. Alright, Leon? I pulled in some favors and there's a crew that'll get us close enough to scamper aboard the Cur's vessel. It'll be cramped up on that deck. If we try to mill the whole lot at once, we'll soon find ourselves up against the rails. So we go in quick and quiet and try to knock them off a few at a time. Well, Colt? Are you eager to test your sea legs? Ready. Out of all the job quests I've done, this one has so many quest battles. Like, a fuck ton. Like this whole quest line. There's so many quest battles. Which I don't mind, it's just an observation I made when comparing to other ones. Right, no one's seen us so far, let's get to work. I'll seek me stabbers in the captain. Those two back there are yours. Follow me, Leon. Lead the way, Vakeb. Who we shanking first? This guy? We're rogues! All the bloody way out here? Hey, what the... Hello, Jing. I don't know how you found this, but they'll never find what's left of you. Says who? Slippery bastards! Let's see just how quick you are. Open the cage, let the growler off his chain. The growler? Oh, that's the growler. Alright, I'll take care of this bitch. And this little prick too. You're the only one left now. Excellent. Jack, I found me one of them treasures. Unless there's another fist-sized blue diamond on board, it's gotta be the Cerulean Star. As for them other two baubles, I've tossed the cabins and been through the hold ilm by ilm, but there's naught else here. Well, we'll just have to ask all sweet-like, won't we? Spit it out, cur. Where are you keeping the rest of your treasures? Ha! You think I'd spill me guts for the likes of you, rogue? Maybe you wouldn't at that. But what about this partner you're working with? How'd you... We don't need no partner. So you're telling me this was all your own idea? You woke up one day and decided you'd attack a maelstrom transport right off the coast of Aleport and disappear into the loving embrace of the Doxy's Pole? Excuse me. Not exactly your style, is it? The Grin and Curs are too bleeding famous for being the crew what turned their snouts up at privateering in favor of keeping the old ways. You've only escaped the Yellow Jacket's grip this long by crawling on your bellies and snatching scraps what fell from the table. You ain't the type to sink your teeth into a Navy-owned vessel, no matter the price. Aye, well, maybe there ain't no profit in being cautious no more. The age of pirates is swift coming to an end. Merylvid won't be stopped, not by a piddling little crew like mine. Sorry. That's why we've thrown our lot in with the executioners. Them again? That blue rock was just our share of the loot. The scraps from the table, like you said. If you want them other trinkets, then you'll have to take it up with our new mates. One job at a time, lad. First, we need to get these stinking cubs and their tub back to the docks. Piss on you for taking our ship. Should have set her on fire while I still had the chance. The job just got proper thorny. At least we grabbed one of them damn treasures. Oh, putting aside the issue of who gave the orders, there's no doubt that these was the cubs that raided that maelstrom ship. Now for a punishment what fits the crime. I was informed that a certain well-known pirate ship was spotted weighing anchor at the Marabi dry docks. I assume that this was your work? Ah, you missed all the excitement, Captain. But never you mind. The Cerulean Star is back in Bob and our sneaky little famples. She's not happy. And these must be the grinning curs. Degenerate fiends! How dare you ply your filthy trade in Lamenton waters? Many innocent sailors were massacred that you might sate your vile avarice. Every one of your kind ought to be lined up and shot. A musket ball is the only answer for this rampant display of lawlessness. Damn, she's violent. Wait, what do you mean to just... Do you mean to just execute him here on the bloody docks? At least take the buggers into custody first. Handing them over to you for lawful punishment will satisfy the demands of the code just as well. We've already got the answers to our questions, so feel free to take them away. Do not presume to give me orders, rogue. You only managed to capture these villains and their ill-gotten treasure by employing unsavory and unconscionable means. Why, you're not more than pirates yourselves. These bastards ain't worth a true pirate's spit. The Upright Thieves was formed to protect us from ourselves. Now they're just hunting dogs for the Admiral. Merylvid yanks the leash and another buccaneer disappears. You rogues are traitors to your own kind. If it hadn't been for you... Aye? Go on then. Blame me and my cubs for your own failings. You knew what you was about when you defied the code. You knew that we'd be after you. We're done here. There are still two treasures left, rogue, and I mean to claim them both. I'd reconsider this contest of yours, Captain. Turns out this fish we're trying to hook is a shark, and it might just swallow you whole. Dang it. Damn. Well, though. Even we've been low-key threatened by them. You think this is over? The pirates will have their day again. What shark is he speaking of? How could any pirate challenge the might of the Yellow Jackets? No, he seeks but to unnerve me. I'll wring the truth from these grinning curs and we'll see who triumphs over whom. Alright. Level 20. This quest line is long. We're already at the 2-hour mark. We still have 2 more levels of quest work to do before it's over. I believe this was the only instance where they actually added a job class before a new expansion came out. Too. After this, they were like... Because they released this one, but they were also obviously working on it along with the ones they released with Heaven's Word, which was 3. Dark Knight, Astrologian, and Machinist. And after that fiasco, they realized it was way too much work. So they said, we're not releasing new job classes between expansions anymore. And we're only doing 2 job classes per expansion now as well. Which comes out with the initial expansion, of course. They realized it was a fuck ton of work. Teamwork on that ship, Leon. First blood is ours. How'd you take the fight in the sea? Our flews can drop an opponent as quick as a rogue, but mind you, don't exhaust yourself just flailing your blades at the tougher cubs. And that goes double for when you have mates on your flanks. If you notice yourself starting to flag, there's not wrong with pulling back from time to time and staggering your attacks with each other to keep the pressure on. I've said it before, Colt, but I'll need you sharp enough to carve steel for what's to come. I'm afraid this will be more of a challenge than even what that little shrew was bargaining for. That's assuming the Curs wasn't lying about the executioners. And the executioners are who I bloody think they are. Twixt you and me, though, I'm hoping the name is just some laughable coincidence. Y'all remember who the executioners were in 1.0. Sweet sorrows. Oh there, Leon. We've a rough job ahead of us, and that's a fact. Matters are tangled enough what with Milala Mort snapping at our heels, but we still managed to grapple that first trinket without too much fuss. Biting back them other two treasures, though, that'll be a different story. Once the Stray gets here, I'll explain what, or more to the point, who we're up against. Alright, we've 2 baubles left on the list. The Silver Sorrows and the Black Sarcophagus. Let's see where we're at. Ollie, where's Perimu got to? Underfoot? He's still looking to whittle the tail behind that bleeding sarcophagus. We'll not be cloying that stickler until we've at least an inkling as to what the bloody thing looks like. Treasures aside, I've been doing some digging of my own into these executioner allies of the Grinning Curs, and I'm afraid the name weren't no coincidence. Leon, you've heard of the bloody executioners, I hope? It seems them Curs was feeding from the famble of one of the nation's greatest pirate powers. This ain't no ordinary crew of cutthroats, lad. Within Lim Salaminsa, the bloody executioners wield a power and influence second only to the Admiral herself. They were none too fond of Merlvib or her prohibition on piracy, and it was only the overwhelming threat posed by the Garlean Empire would eventually convince them to play nice with the thalassocracy. But pirates ain't ones to play nice for long. Now that Hilfer ain't around to help helm the ship, the solidarity of the bloody executioners has begun to show cracks. All the strongest captains and lieutenants have begun to form their own factions and are scrabbling to claim the top chair for themselves. Of course, not one bloody cove can agree with another on which way the executioners ought to sail. Among these new factions, though, is a group that is pushing to break free of the Admiral's grip completely. Turns out these reformists, as they call themselves, was the ones as took the Grinning Curs under their wing. Which means they've got possession of the last 2 treasures we've yet to cloy. Rumors around town say that even for executioners, these cubs are bloody and ruthless and not to be crossed. We should sit this one out, Jack. Piss on Milala's contest, it ain't worth this kind of grief. We'd be inviting the wrath of a crew so large and dangerous that even the Admiral ain't keen on coming to blows with them. If they ever came after us... Large or small, it don't much matter. They broke the code when they hit that maelstrom tub. Aye, the Grinning Curs are paying for that crime, but we'd be poor sodden excuses for rogues if we let the real culprits carry on unpunished. I mean to see this job to the end. That means biting back them treasures and handing out proper justice to them as deserve it. You got balls. But Jack! Listen, with all the infighting going on at present, us stabbing a short blade into one faction's toe ain't like to bring the whole executioner crew down on our heads. Besides, them reformist buggers are so far split from the main mob that they've been avoiding the city altogether. She's like, I don't know about this. This is getting too crazy. Now, it's about time we got to work. Leon, you're to track down our black market contact. I set him to looking into the Curs' new allies a while back, so he should have some answers for us by now. The veil was lifted by a southerly this morning. That'll put the old man at his haunt in Lower Lenosha. Here, take this sack of blunt and pay a visit to the House of Styx. Okay. I don't know what any of that meant, but sure. That's kobold territory if you didn't know. The old man bribes them with ore and hires the biggest and meanest sods as bodyguards. Just be ready for your approach to be... challenged. There really is no... I think this way's shorter. Barely. But it is. Or I guess I could just teleport to an aetherite from here. Yeah. Oh, fuck it. Where is it? Jesus. This place is in a very inconvenient spot. I'll go here. And then just go down there. That seems slightly quicker. Slightly. Well, like you said. A handy blade for each hand. Yep, that's me. Welcome to the House of Sticks, young rogue. You must excuse my hireling's enthusiasm for greeting visitors. Now, have you any cumbersome baggage of which I might relieve you before we begin our conversation in earnest? Yeah, here's your money. A substantial amount of gil in a leather bag. Yeah, ha ha ha! A heavy burden for one of your tender years to bear, but its weight has balanced the scales. The sum is paid and the deal is made. Let us speak of these reformists. This faction that so wronged the code now seeks to peddle one of its stolen treasures. The earrings better known as the Silver Sorrows. The deal, it is said, is set to take place at Costa del Sol. The buyer? A moneyed merchant from the golden sands of Ul'dah. The earrings will be out in the open, vulnerable. I would target the moment of transaction were I so inclined. As the gentleman up there by the cabin appears to be, for he purchased this self-same information. Though he attempts to disguise his identity, the stench of a soldier yet lingers. I know not where one such as he came to learn of my existence, but I suspect he works for a certain yellow-coated captain. That dude over there. Yeah, brave she is, but foolish. Stumble blindly into the underworld, and your groping hands will not save you from the holes at your feet. Sudden shall be her fall. Just trying to play dumb over there. He totally overheard our conversation. I know full sodden well what it means to be a rogue, but as deadly as our guild is, we'd not survive a war with the bloody executioners. Welcome back, Leon. What information did the old man have on them reformists? Looking to unload them earrings, are they? And to an Ul'dah, no less. Can't say as I'm surprised to hear the buyers from out of town. You won't find many Lamentsons willing to melt coin in aught than coves are selling. Cubs, sorry. Only the daftest of sods would go about funding them as means to pull down the Admiral. Hey? One of Milala's lackeys arrived at the house before you? How did they know to... Ugh, them curs we captured must have cackled during the shrew's interrogations. We'll have to assume the Yellow Jackets know what we know. And that means we'd best get our asses to Costa del Sol right bleeding now. I'll handle this one, Jack. You and Leon can wait here for Paramount. Oi, Victor! What the hell is she playing? After her, lad. She knows this ain't a solo job. Told you to wait at the guild. Well, it might be as I could use an extra cub in the shadows after all. Jack has his mind set on punishing the executioners, but me? I just want to skulk in, ploy them silver bits, and skulk out. I reckon that if I could manage that with no one the wiser, then they wouldn't know who to come after. Finish the job without drawing me daggers, you know? Yeah. It ain't exactly true to the code, but the shield of underworld honor won't stop them bloody killers from cutting me mates' throats and setting the sisters a glimmer. The guild's the only place would offer to take in a pirate stray like me, and I'll not see it burn to the ground. The deal's about to start. Say the word when you're beamed to head in. See, another quest battle. Alright, here's what we know. The rich merchant was come over from Ul'dah as some old mate, a master Gegaruju. The Cullis owns Costa del Sol. Yeah. Gegaruju's taken his guards and danced in dells and pranced off down the beach someplace, giving over the use of the entire resort to his friend. Seems she didn't want an audience for her bargain with the reformists. Which, as it happens, works out well for us. We'll wait until they're busy haggling over price, then snatch the sorrows and pop the twig before they realize not to miss. Sound like a plan? Damn. I tried to go too fast on that one. That was too comfortable, so I keep leaning my head back. It's the little things in life. There. The players have arrived. The reformist coin counter and the Ul'dah buyer are set up on the southeast platform. The earrings ought to be nearby. Think about. Who are all these other coals? The place was meant to be empty. I see some nasty looking blokes in Ul'dah garb and... Are those mammoths? Ah, that merchant's brought along a whole bloody entourage. I've gone and got ahead of myself. Should have realized the job would never be that easy. We'll have to mill a few of them bodyguards first, I reckon. You don't want to fight through a forest of blades should you get caught sneaking about up on them narrow walkways. Jack! I thought I'd... Stow your excuses, love. I know full well what you were about. You start going soft on us, though, and it'll be like losing one of me arms. I can't take on the bloody executioners all by myself. It's only 'cause I've got rogues like you and Underfoot and Leon here that the guild can take the jobs it does. When our cubs walk the shadows, it's the bleeding pirates who do the trembling. Remember that, Vickhead. We ain't some two guild robbers who'll piss their breeches when their daddles are caught in the honeypot. We're the knives in the darkmans, and no bastard wants to go blade to blade with the likes of us. See you've not changed your mind, then. You'll need all the stabbers you can get. And I promise mine will be there when you need them. Beam! Now let's carve a path to that platform and bite back to Mirrors. Vickhead, you hide yourself down by the docks in case the marks escape during the fighting. Leon, you and me'll split up and mill the guards as we go. It's them puppets that concern me most. I suggest you crash them little buggers before they can spring any room fun. Creep in as close as you dare, then give them a good solid clout from behind. Aye, it ain't the most original strategy, but that don't make it any less lethal. Once you're done with the first group, slip back into the shadows and move on to the next. Not to it, eh? I'll head over to the back while you start in from the front. Let's wrap this up before them jackets blunder in and scare off our marks. You got it, dude. Defeat the bodyguards. Hit them from the back then? Like this? So I don't think you can fall off here. Yeah. Okay, so I'll take these ones out. Oh! This bastard's made of solid rock! Leon, get over here and start chipping! Where the hell are you? I'll save you, bro! Now for the earrings. I want to sneak by here anyway. This is a private meeting. Remove these rats at once. The hell you will. Seems hide wasn't really necessary at all. We ended up having to kill everyone anyway. I guess it was just so that you could use trick attack. Rogues? No one mentioned aught about rogues. Well, what in the seven hells do you think you're doing? Well, what in the hells do you think you're doing? I'm used to the other expression. I am conducting a business transaction on behalf of the bloody executioners. Do you understand what that means? Do you know what they'll do to you? I am all affrighted. Odd then that you're the one who's shaken. It don't much matter to me who you work for. Your bosses broke the code and we're here to collect. Those would be the Silver Sorrows then. I'm sure you paid a caravan of coin for them shiny baubles, but I doubt they're worth your life. Let's have them then. Wait! Wait, damn you! You should know that this person is an extremely influential member of the East Aldenard Trading Company. Surely you've heard of it. If the threat of reprisal will not stay your hand, then consider the political ramifications of interfering with a foreign dignitary. The Admiral would not desire you to damage Lim's relations with Ul'dah. Yes, exactly. I am very highly placed in Ul'dah society. I have powerful friends who would not be pleased were you to mistreat me in any fashion. And you must understand, the Silver Sorrows are a historical treasure. A gift once bestowed upon Sultana Nanasha Ulnasha by her champion. The earrings were later stolen from the royal vault, and we'd lost hope of ever recovering them. That I might so easily purchase them thus is a miracle! The return on these trinkets will be... that is to say, the sorrows must be returned to Ul'dah. Can you not look the other way for the sake of my nation's pride? You gave yourself away. You must think me some dull-witted thug. If this deal was being made on behalf of your country, then why are you sneaking about and consorting with pirates? An excellent point. One might doubt your quality of character were you to continue with these feeble fabrications. You need only entrust those earrings to me, should you truly wish to see them return to Ul'dah, that is. After all, 'twas to fulfill that very purpose that the thalassocracy bid on the sorrows in the first place. Bit late there, aren't you, Captain? I think you'll agree this round belongs to us. On the contrary, my dear scoundrel, I made the winning move the moment I knew we were dealing with a merchant of Ul'dah. I come bearing an official order of seizure, authorized by the Admiral herself. You will not be harmed, but I must insist that you cooperate with this reclamation of unlawfully obtained goods. Though Costa del Sol is private property, it nevertheless lies within state-governed territory. Come along quietly, and we need not inconvenience Master Gegarujo any further. Yeah, you're fucked. These suspects will be taken into Yellow Jacket custody. And do not concern yourself with the Silver Sorrows. They'll be quite safe with me. She beat us to the punch. We did all this for nothing then. I heard the news from Jack. I don't think that was the Admiral choosing to side with Malala, though. Probably just eager to reclaim the Silver Sorrows. Anyway, that bit about them earrings being cloyed from the Royal Vault turns out to be true. Seems some famous burglar went after him once he heard about the godlike agility they were said to bestow upon the wearer. Accessories do tend to raise your stats, right? Bah! The hell take that canary-colored harpy. We might as well have handed the things to her on a velvet cushion. Shit. I'll go find Underfoot and help him with his digging. There's still that last treasure out there, and you can be sure the reformers won't be giving it up without a fight. Ah, you do that. Be luck to you, love. Oh, there you are. You left before events had truly been decided, and I thought you deserved to know the score. The Ul'dan merchant has acquiesced to our request and surrendered the silver sorrows into our keeping. We've also apprehended the reformist accountant, and will be holding him for further questioning. Oh-ho! Bonin an associate to the Bloody Executioners? You Yellowjackets don't flinch from your duty, I'll give you that. And what's this I hear about you buying information, Captain? I thought you'd sooner die than associate with elements of the underworld. I will do what I must to stay ahead in this challenge, and that Marketeer's knowledge was vital to the case. It is true I might find his practices distasteful, but he is no pirate. It is the fading era of piracy which I mean to consign to the history books, and that chapter will never be fully closed until every pirate-spawned relic, including you and your guild, becomes a thing of the past. Valiant and forthright. These are the words by which the Yellowjackets live. It is the manner in which we protect Limsa Lominsa. I swore an oath on the graves of my sisters. No more shall the innocent suffer at the hands of these savage buccaneers, these unrepentant killers. And a grand oath it is. Me? I've got me family full just keeping the code intact. But the code is a kind of oath, too, when you get down to it. And since I've sworn to uphold it, I've no intention of stepping aside and letting you trample all over me or me cubs. In fact, you'd be better off giving in now before matters get proper serious. Just say you're sorry, admit defeat, and we'll leave it at that, eh? Your audacity knows no bounds! I'm done wasting words. I shall reclaim that last treasure, and then I will look on victorious as your guild is dismantled brick by brick. That's the spirit, Captain. Just don't forget to keep an eye on them earrings. The city's crawling with rogues, you know. You could keep the sorrows in a bloody lockbox in the Coral Tower, but look away for a moment and one of me cubs will bite them beauties right back. Come on, Leon. It's back to the sisters for us. That is a gigantic pineapple. Look at this thing, dude. It's massive. It looks like a pineapple, that's why I called it that. I don't know what it is, although, honestly. You can never target it just right off the bat. So far, this whole thing has been longer than the last chapter of Hildebrand. Holy shit. Well, after all that hard work, the shrew made off with the spoils. Yes, he did. And as far as her damned contest goes, I suppose that makes us even. It'll be the last treasure of this black sarcophagus that decides the victor. Whatever the reformists are doing to keep it bob, you can bet your grandmom's teeth there'll be some blade work needed before this job is done. Get yourself ready for a proper scrap, Leon. I like how that turtle moved. This guy's a tortoise here. Tiny tortoise. It didn't walk forward, it did the spin. That little Bowser spin from Smash Bros. See if he does it again. See, there he goes. Market for death. Nice play on words there. I was wondering when you'd show up, Leon, but bugger me if you don't look ready to mill an entire crew of sods by yourself. And being that you are, because we finally uncovered some hard facts about that last treasure. Won't be long now before we cloy the win in peace and put this daft challenge to bed. Alright, I've gathered the other cubs for a meeting, so let's get down to it. At long, bloody last, the black sarcophagus has given up its secrets. Underfoot, do you have some news for us? Hi, Jack. I think half our troubles in whittling the truth of it lay in calling this nasty thing a treasure. The black sarcophagus ain't no dimber bauble. It's the Mark 51 Magitech mine, a bleeding prototype explosive what was bitten from an Imperial transport vessel. Damn, that's pretty heavy. And even though it ain't that big, maybe the size of a small cargo box? Excuse me. They say the blast would have enough kick to incinerate a bloody behemoth. Seems the Guardians meant to start production at their factory in Lenosha, and distribute the mines through cash from Maribum. Lucky some plucky privateer cloyed the prototype en route then, eh? An experimental weapon. That explains why the thalassocracy was so bleeding eager to bid at that auction, and so reluctant to share the details with us. Ooh. Ugh. At least now we know the what, but there's still the question of the where. The Curs delivered their bitten goods to the reformists, that much is certain. What happened to the sarcophagus after that, though, we ain't so sure. There have been no reports of huge explosions or the like, so either the executioners still have the mine, or they've peddled it to some other buyer. The reformist faction came together out of their shared hatred for the Admiral and her ways. I'm guessing they didn't employ that bomb just to sell it. What is it, Lonnie? A letter for you, Jack. Says it's urgent. A letter? Who's it from? The old man. I found it while I was sorting through our daily deliveries. Let's see now. Come to Thalos. I have urgent news. I've never known the old man to summon a customer. No one's seen him at his usual haunts for a while, so do you reckon this is some rum morsel he's dug up just for us? Or a trap? Aye, it could be. Leon, you and me are headed to Thalos. Underfoot, Vikeb, you're to take another stab at pinning down the location of the sarcophagus. Ooh. Not even in the town. What the fuck is it? Dun, 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 dun. Oh. Don't know why the fuck I'm running for. Oh damn, you can't leap through the window. That would have been nice if you could fit through there. Sorry to bother you, sir. Oh shit. Well, I guess I called it. There was a trap. You're wasting your time, darling. We opened that scrag's wrinkled throat bells ago. You cross the bloody executioners and you get what's coming to you. Did you like our message? We wasn't sure you'd fall for it, but a little mystery goes a long way, eh? Aw, now don't be like that, darling. Me and me mates didn't have much choice. When the boss says go play with the rogues, then we gotta go play with the rogues. After all, we never asked you to come ruin our game now, did we? And don't give me no long-winded speech about your precious code. The reformist vision stretches far beyond what them tired old rules is good for. Once Captain Asherbert takes command of the executioners, you'll give us back the teeth we lost when we submitted to the Admiral's leash. That's Asherbert. We'll be the terrors of the sea once more, free to rove and plunder in a new age of pirate glory. And I'll bathe in blood to see that age come to pass. I'll kick down your shite stinking code and have all your sneaky heads on the chopping block. Like hells you will. The only sentence what's being passed today is yours. Oh! Well, hello there, darling. Ain't you a fine-looking lad? I've heard of... fucking hitting on him even though he's about to kill her. I've heard all this prattle afore. Free to pillage and plunder, is it? Aye, it all sounds grand, but you don't think of the price. That shite stinking code is the only thing what keeps you bloody cubs from milling one another. Without it, without limbs to Leminster to call home, you'd be adrift in an ocean of corns. But if you're so keen to keep company with the dead, I'll be sodden happy to oblige. You was prettier with your gob shut, but I see I'm out of me depth here. As much as I'd like to lop off your noggins, I'll have to be satisfied with dragging the two of you out into the wilds. Kept you well out of the way, haven't I? Up with it then! Ain't it obvious? You stubborn scrags is looking to swipe our new toy. My job was to stall you. The captain is the mind with him right now. What? The captain has the mind. Okay, it's the H. Right, I forget about that. The captain has the mind with him right now. He's set to show the rest of the executioners that he's got the stones to sit in the leader's chair. Okay. And what better way to do that than executing the bitch what snapped the chains on our crew? He's gonna kill Merylvid? He's targeting the Admiral herself? You're planning to blow up the command room, ain't you? Aye, you have me permission to panic. Of course, if you'd rather steer clear of the city, I'd be glad to keep you company right here, sweet meat. Look at that, she's still hitting on him. It's like, I'll be glad to keep you company if you want to, avoid that. Think you can stop Captain Esseber? If you sprout yourself some wings, then you might still make it. Gahaha! What do you gotta say, Jack? We've got this mad Mort at our mercy, but she seems to be enjoying herself. Maybe she likes being a bottom. I'd better drag her back to the guild and see what other information she'll spill. Maybe she's the pain is pleasure type. She's still laughing at what we're talking about right now. I'll need you back in limbs as well, but you have business at the foremast first. You should find Captain Milala at her post there. Forget about the sodden challenge and tell her everything we know. Unless me judgments well off kilter, she'll do what needs to be done. And she just blew me a kiss. Cocky bitch. That one's closer. Phew. Teasing the two of us because she feels that she's won. Well, that her and her crew have already won. She's making a mockery of us. You'll see what the last laugh. Hey, they said sprout some wings, right? I don't have wings, but I can still fly. Oh, there they are. Oh, you're one of Jack's rogues. You've come to steal the sorrows, have you? Well, you shan't have them. As you can see, they're safely clasped upon my very own... You're not here for the earrings? No. The Admiral, you say? And you are sure these fiends are in possession of the sarcophagus? I must deploy more sentries at once. Do not think this voids our challenge, rogue, and you can relay as much to your impudent guildmaster, sorry. I suppose you can thank him for the warning as well. We're on the same side here. Even though you don't want to see it that way. Okay. So the jackets are on the move? Bean, I've been listening to that addled pirate cackle since I got her back to the sisters, but she's given us not what we didn't already know. And we know more than enough. I say we rally the rogues and go after that mine, before it blows up in our muns. Pulling victory. If the leader of the reformists, this Captain Assever, is planning on milling the Admiral with a bang, then my guess is he'll be aiming to demolish the entire command room. You know the mizzenmast, aye? The tower that holds the drowning wench in Bulwark Hall? The Admiral's bridge and her command room are right at the top of it. Yep. I know. Then you've got the district what surrounds the mizzenmast. That's the busy, beating heart of the city. Even with the threat of an attack, you can't just seal it up in the blink of an eye and call the whole thing Bob. Try to explain the danger to the Coles who live and work there, and then you'd have a frightened, stampeding mob on your fanbles. Nay, lad. Our only option is to have eyes snilching every approach to the tower. I'll put the word out to as many cobs as I can and spread them through the streets. Your job will be cover the aft castle. Just wait and see, Leon. We'll get this Assever. And his little bomb, too. Well, let's do it. So right here, then. He was drunk as shit. Ugh, the fog picked a grand night to roll in thick. This'll make things interesting. Our presence on the streets is far too thin. Where are the reinforcements I ordered? My apologies, Captain. There just aren't any more soldiers to spare. The bulk of our forces has already been assigned to guard not only the Admiral, but a number of other high-ranking personnel as well. Unacceptable. What could Commodore Raynor be thinking? There are dangerous criminals stalking the city as we speak. Call in squads from the outpost if you must, but I want to see our security tightened and the populace properly protected. But Captain, we can't be certain the pirates' plan hasn't changed. If we consider the possibility that they've switched to a target outside the walls, it would be folly to weaken those defenses. You've made your point, Sergeant. Return to your post. Once all is lost, it is far too late to question what one should have done. Don't have second thoughts? About how you've handled this so far? With the rose and everything? You seem troubled, sir. Perhaps I can be of assist... Ah! That was quick. I've been dying to meet you, lass. Aye, keen to set eyes on the bold yellow belly what cost our crew a fortune in Uldon coin. You're an executioner? One of Assever's men? You've strayed too far into a world you don't understand, lass. Your eyes is fixed on the light of justice, leaving you blind to the chasm opening up at your feet. It's too far away, I'll never make it. Damn! Cut down. At least they'll say you died with your boots on. The yellow belly won't be bothering us no more, Captain. As for the mine, the lads will have it primed in front of the wench by the time you get there. Good. Not long now before we drag that bitch Admiral, her pretty tower, and all her simpering curs down to the bottom of the sea. Then I'll raise our flag on the ruins of the mizzenmast and lead our brethren in a return to the old ways of blood and plunder. This is bold. Should have not have had the last bottle. Bottles? The wife is gonna kill me. Hey? What's that then? It's still alive. Barely. After the command room. They mean to bring down the entire tower. If the mizzenmast falls, the bridges will follow. Half the city will. Please, you must help me. The danger far greater than we. Bloody hells! It's alive! Oh no! I didn't see nothing. Nothing. Didn't she? Nothing! Of course. He's like, fuck this. Please, you must send word. Nope, he's out. Someone must be told. You? How did you... Your valiant and forthright weapon. You could hear that single pistol shot from Mom's away. Weren't hard to guess what had happened. Makes you wonder why nobody else has shown up. I poked the Yellow Jackets on my way over. A healer will be along shortly. Beam. That means we've only one last thing to do. We have never been allies, but I beg of you. You must stop them. Save the city. Ah, lass, you know you don't need to ask. Taking down mad cubs and biting back what was bitten is our job. You all set then? Ready, Jack. Always. Born ready, fool. Let's do this. Now let's go cloy that sarcophagus and fit Asaber for a new coffin. Battle stato! Make for the mizzenmast and find Asaber. Oh shit. Sure you don't need backup, dude? Who's the one that's targeting me? You. There's too many of them, the sound effects are getting drowned out. Can't hide. Uh-oh. That's a lot of dudes. Okay, never mind. We probably have to take these ones out and then sneak past them or wait for backup. I was confused for a minute if he was telling me to run ahead or not. So many of them. I think their whole bloody crew is here. Bean, you know how I hate tracking down stragglers. You see the bright side of it. You can't stop us now, Scrags. Only 3 minutes until the show begins. What? That's it then? Underfoot, find and smash some detonators. Check the ramps going up and going down. Leon, mill all them detonators. We'll keep these cubs busy. Okay, now they're telling me to go ahead. Look how this battle went. You're mine, Scrag. All the way around. Cool. Limbs has turned into a fucking war zone. Your code don't mean shite to me. Fuck you then. Nothing this way. 90 seconds. Shit. The last one. It's chopping block for you. No. There. Now we just gotta kill the bastards. The light on the mine went out. This one right here. Yep. Leon's disabled the sarcophagus. That's the bomb taking care of them. Now these bastards get our full attention. This wasn't part of me plan. I could have been a king among pirates. Those were his last words. Asshole. Status report? Seems the healers did their job quite well. The mine has been disabled and the engineers should soon have it safely removed. Our soldiers sustained some injuries in the battle with the reformists, but none were fatal. Also, the Admiral sends her sincerest gratitude. Look, there she is! That's Captain Milala, the hero of Limsa Lamensa! Are you recovered from your wound, Captain? We heard how you very nearly lost your life stopping that horde of pirates from blowing up the mizzenmast. 3 cheers for the Yellow Jackets. Our city'd be lost without you. But wait, that's not how it... Sergeant, what of the Rose? Did they survive the battle? I don't rightly know, Captain. All we found near the sarcophagus were reformists, either dead or strung from the rafters. Alive, then. It would seem we are deeply in their debt. Captain? Might I have the silver sorrows from you now? We've been ordered to hand them over to the Commodore along with the black sarcophagus. Why, of course, they're right here. You thought he was checking her pulse. The earrings! I could have sworn I was still... When she passed out and it zoomed in on Jack's face and he did this. He took them. Right before the battle started. He wouldn't have. He stole them from me while I lay dying? That cad! I knew he was not to be trusted. Keep an eye on them indeed. I should have known. Sly bastard. That's Captain Jack for you. He's a cool guy. He's got him on his ears now. Are you sure about this, Jack? We should have deployed the sarcophagus as well. Let her have one. I think she's earned it, don't you? If it bothers you that much, think of it as a trade. If you ask me, it'd look a bit daft. Well, I didn't ask you. So the jackets ended up with the mine, and we got the diamond and the earrings. Which means... victory belongs to the Rose Guild! 2 out of 3, yeah. We won 2 out of 3. Do you think Malala will leave it at that, then? I get the feeling we ain't done with her yet. I'd say we're done with her challenge, but you never know when our paths will cross again. We'll just have to see what Limsa's underbelly spits up next. Aye, the city ain't ever quiet for long. Well, it's been a pleasure working with you, Leon. If I ever need a trusty pair of stabbers by my side, I'll know who to ask. By me side, I should say. I'm off as well. Bloody starving I am. Don't forget to yaffle a bite when you can, eh, Leon? Yeah, of course, I'll watch after my stomach, don't worry. We best head back to the sisters, too, before the shrew decides she'd rather hear us cry cockles. I have no idea what that means, but... yeah. Being work, Leon. Be seeing you soon. Take it easy, Jack. Oh, shit. Forgot he did that. Like fucking Batman. Three hours. 3 hours. This quest line is quite long. And that's just level 1 through 30. Jesus. There, Leon. It'll be nice to finally have a bit of rest, eh? The job never ends, but even a dimber-damber like myself needs to breathe every now and again. And your venturing mates must be wondering where you've got to. That was a proper long assignment, but I'm glad you decided to see it through. There's some realisticness to that, actually. When I stopped MSQ to start doing this, some of my friends were like, "When are you continuing MSQ? What the fuck are you doing? Where you at?" I was like, "Dude, I'm becoming a ninja." Memories. You've proven to be a stalwart protector of the code, even if this ain't truly your world. When you walk back into the light bins, you'll have to find your own code to uphold. And when you do, you'll have the skills you learned in the shadows to help you defend it. Right you are. Well, that's more than enough prattle out of me. Your travels might take you far and wide, Leon, but know you're always welcome here at the Sisters. Thanks, Jack. I'll be seeing you. So yeah, there's a piece of dialogue when he first teaches you, I think in the level 25 quest it was, Shadowfang. But since they removed Shadowfang, they removed that piece of dialogue. I was wondering what they would do. It was just a short snippet where he told you how to use it. Like, he said, that it basically poisons the enemy. It's a dot, damage over time, right? So he says, even I don't need to tell you that it's better to use it at the beginning of a battle. Because that's when it's most useful. Especially with the long cooldown it used to have. But that skill is gone now as a Endwalker, so that dialogue was removed. He no longer talks about it, about Shadowfang, like it never existed. But anyway, that's it for the rogue quest line. I'm gonna take a break as usual, and then come back, and we'll start the second half. Well, we'll start the ninja quest line. But yeah, I'll just stay here, fuck it. Just put up the BRB screen. BRB, y'all.